So a lot of times when we step into our headquarters, right, we can start to cut our angles. I'm going to step inside, and now I'm just going to kind of run him this way. This knee usually stays up, and I start to kind of sit, and I squat, and I start to lean into him, because he kind of has to stay a little bit active, yeah, exactly, to keep me away. And from here, I can just kind of move. He pushes me away. I can lift my hips up. I can keep my hands on him. I can drop my hands on the mat. Couple things I'm looking or watching for is I don't want this leg to pummel over the top back to the inside position. So if I feel him start to pummel, I just start to point my knee in, and it makes it not impossible, but just much harder for him to pummel that leg on the inside. So once I feel that kind of stop, I could turn back. And the other thing you got to watch is just a little bit of your head position. I don't want my head to like get too far above his head, because it kind of, yeah, exactly, makes it easy for him to start elevate me. He can start to get into my legs. So I always kind of try to keep my head a little far back until I'm ready to actually start passing. So we're right here. Now, a lot of times the pass is going to be dictated, at least I look at it, by what he's doing with this knee, because this knee can be higher out, this knee can be more closed, and it's going to change a little bit of what I'm doing to pass. I'm going to show my favorite variation, and that's when the knee starts to open. So I could be here, I could shuck his knee, I can give his knee a little bit of pull, but I'm just going to look to drive head to head. My left hand's going to pummel into an underhook. Even if he's grabbing my foot, doesn't really matter. I'm going to drive my head to the mat. And now I'm in this kind of floating position. This hand is a free hand. I could kind of put this wherever. It doesn't have to be an underhook. I almost don't want to commit like double unders tight, because then if he gets like an over wrap, yeah, exactly, he might be able to knock me over. So this hand's kind of out doing whatever. This leg, I need to make sure that I'm keeping my knee super high up. And I like to really like hook his thigh, because if my leg drifts too far, yeah, he can start to lock up a half guard. So look, this knee just comes up super high, and now this foot, I can give little hops on my foot and my hand to kind of get balance. And all I have to do is lift my hips up. I can use this hand if I have to. I push his knee through, and I sink and I drop. So my left leg doesn't necessarily have to be on the mat. I'm just kind of like leaning, floating, keeping my weight over him. I can move around a little bit if I have to, and all I'm trying to do is clear that knee. So we're here. Yeah. So look, I step in, come to the side. I want this leg as on the mat as possible, because here, big difference. He has full use, yeah, exactly, of his legs. So I'm here. I start to pressure. I can even start to pull this knee open. I can maybe try to drive it down, and he opens it to resist, and we're here, boom. Underhook, my head goes right next to him, and we're in this position. If I can, probably try to walk his arm up a little bit, but look, hand and foot for balance. My left leg staying super high up, and now all I have to do is beat that knee. Sometimes you don't even need to push it. You'll just be able to slip it, bring that back. Some guys like to pummel foot over foot, and then they can extend. Or you could just use your hand and push it through. It doesn't really matter. Questions? All right, let's do it. Oh.
What's stopping him from grabbing and just pushing?
It's just kind of difficult, and I kind of put a lot of weight on my head. So if he does try to like elevate me, my legs become super light. And once you get there, you can almost start to like pummel off into a bunch of different things. If he goes, look, because my feet can be on the mat and my heads and hands on the mat. So if he goes to elevate me, almost like I'm doing a headstand, and then I can, you know, the more he overextends, I can just kind of do a bunch of different type of passes. But I'm almost going to like a crappy headstand position, and my legs become super light, so I can move my legs super easily. Cool? Let's do it, guys. 3, 2, 1.